you start when you feel like it. Oh, there we go. It finally started. Alright, let's go ahead and put a prediction up. Start prediction here. This is going to be... win this OF matchup here. I think both sides are evenly split. Yeah, so... I need to check which one's blue 4 and which one's op 4. Alright, police department's blue 4. Alright, cool. And then... op 4. I'll go ahead and set that for... yeah, we'll do 15 minutes. Excellent. What else do I need to do? I need to tab out and set up the multi. I didn't get anything from multi, so I'm just going to clear it from last night. Awesome. Alright, with that said and done, what are our objectives here? Alright. Cool. So, this is going to be a standard OFCRA match, nothing special, not part of any campaign. This is a bit of a one-off going on tonight. If you want to follow along with the mission, just do !mission. But for people watching back on the VOD, this is meant to be a simple AAF police versus ION PMC services. AAF being on blue 4, ION being on op 4. Both sides will look at their kits later and whatnot, but they're pretty even. Both sides are going to have access to planes and APCs and some transport cars and have similar weaponry but vastly different uniforms. Not that that usually saves anything in OFCRA, but hey, I can try. Speaking of which, I need to set up a new notepad here and date it for any highlights that come out. Awesome. But let's go ahead and look at the point values here. So the common objective is the warehouses here. Whichever side holds the warehouses by the end of the game, which is a 90-minute round, is going to gain 5 points. Excuse me. Now, what's interesting here is the two objectives here. Both sides have an offensive and a defensive objective that's cashed in at the 60-minute mark. How it works is as follows. If... okay, I got it here. If blue 4 is able to capture the opponent's town, or op 4 is able to capture their opponent's town, so if the police capture Athera, they, as blue 4, gain 4 points. If they hold Zaros, they gain 1 point because it's their defensive objective. If Ion, as op 4, holds Athera, they gain 1 point, but if they capture Zaros, they gain 4 points. So those two objectives combined tie you up for the warehouse. Now, if both sides only hold their objectives and aren't able to take their opponents, they only gain 1 point, so the final fight's for the warehouse. But if they gain the enemy's objective and hold their own, they basically tie it up with the warehouse. And then there's 2 additional 1-point objectives that can make the difference only if one side manages to take the other. Kill the enemy side leader, you get a point, and then if there are 8 of your guys alive or more, you also gain a point. So it's a survival bonus, not an enemy elimination bonus. So if op 4 has 8 or more people at the end of the round, they gain a point. Now again, that bonus point's not really going to matter because if you just hold your objective, kill the enemy side leader, and have enough people alive, you only gain 3 points. Warehouse is the last objective that's really worth it. So if you want to play defensively, your best bet is to honestly just hold your defensive objective and hold the warehouses. Now, your enemy, if they're thinking that too, your fight's going to be at the warehouse and not really at your own defensive objective. But this also forces both sides to at least put a squad at their defensive objective so it's not sniped by their opponent later on. What we could also see is one side go all in and just try to take Athera or Zaros on their opponent's side, because if they just hold it, it's only worth 1 point. But of course, it's all about denying your opponent the victory of scoring that objective. So I'd imagine we're probably going to see a 50-50 split of half the force holding their defensive objective and half the force going for the enemy's objective, and then whatever survives is going to then go to the warehouses, though they're going to be burning 10 minutes to just get there and then have to frantically hold it for 20. But if you control the warehouse area, you can also hold the forest area outside of Neochori, you can also hold the hilltop next to Stravo south of Laka, because this is all a Overwatch position. Now, in terms of defensive areas here, OFCRA does have the military post on the outside. They do have the factory, but they don't have a lot of Overwatch on it. They're holding the center of the town, which is just outside of the church area, but a lot of open fields to help defend it. Zaros is a bit worse, I would say, because you've got these two hilltops immediately on it, but you do have this massive Overwatch hill on Raija that can cover it. And then there is a slight military position right here, but it's really just two warehouses with no top cover. So if you're going to defend this AO, you're going to probably have one squad holding and then one squad on Overwatch somewhere. You got some good outside Overwatch positions as well, but they're not going to have the manpower to hold that. Oh, man. And also the spawns, they're literally going to be right on top of each other for this. So they're going to have to go back to hold defense so they can just immediately assault in. So I think what we're seeing with the quote-unquote assault units is the assault unit is meant to attack the enemy's objective, and then the airfield is supposed to send forces to defend, but we could see anything change up with that. So overall, this is going to be a fairly simple OFCRA round, but should be pretty combat-heavy at least. Alright, otherwise, hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today's streams are going to be only two, planned at least. This, and then Pog is going to be at 7. I'm going to be on the ground again, and then maybe if I feel like it, I'll go into TMTM. If not, I still need to finish up the mission file for Checkpoint RP, and then I'm just doubling down in video editing. Looking at my sticky notes here, I've got only 1, 2, 3 more PvP videos to edit, plus today's, which is going to be a 4th, and I got some TBD rounds to edit. When I find those, I'll get them down. And then there's a few that I never documented that I'm occasionally finding. So I'm definitely going to have all that video editing done by the end of the week, and then next week, I'm going to just basically spend scheduling everything. But if I were to tab out and look at my video load here, this started at 166, and we're at 150 right now. Granted, that's also because I've been recording a bunch of, new stuff that I haven't processed yet. But, again, my goal is by the end of August to have that backlog completely done, and then hopefully also have it all scheduled on YouTube. Alright. Upfront logging is going fine. I've got Valkyrie focused on new stuff. When Sixton gets off of vacation, I'm going to give him some additional things to do. I'm also going to have Cross work on some custom scripting for some other stuff tied to our SCP-5000 compound. Mod sets are all in their testing phases. I'm waiting on whatchamacallit. The 2 I need to publish, the Checkpoint RP one's ready to go. I just need to upload some files to Steam Workshop. So I can then get them in because they have a bunch of roleplay items, and I have to, publish a document tied to Checkpoint RP as well. But then I need to get the Half-Life one published because the test one that has all the bulk stuff is ready to go. I'm just waiting on the readback from the Zeus trainees. It looks like it's going to be Gulf Coast, but I just need to hear from one of them just to verify, and then we're good. But some of them are already working on mission files, and I got to get them scheduled for next month. Next BT op is going to be Wednesday. The first Wednesday of August. And I'm going to be honest, I think I'm just going to do one Wednesday a month for them, because I think I'd rather have my Sundays work on other stuff, because it's too frantic. I'd rather spend once a month getting all that stuff done and then go from there, but we'll go there when we get there. But anyway, that's the sound of everyone getting transferred to the channel here. So let's go ahead and look at OFCRA's units here, and then we'll go back into ranting about random stuff. So, for Blue 4, our police faction, oh boy, they've got a sign. It tells them who Blue 4 and Op 4 are. I'm sure that's going to stop all Op 4 and Blue 4, blue on blue and red on red incidents. Anyway, Blue 4 are dressed in blue. We've got some AK, I think these are 74s. We've got some PKPs. Wow, very well-equipped police force here. We got some suppressed guys as well. And I assume these guys are going to be like an air assault group of some sort. We got some Alton helmets as well. Jeez. I mean, for all I know, these could actually be AK-12s. It's hard to tell with the camo, but we have air support in the form of a twin 50 cal bipod plane. And then they also have transport in here. I wonder if they have parachute capability. That's funny. And I don't see any marksman or GL capability. So it looks like it's just going to be rifleman. We do have some AT on the form of RPGs. And then we've got a bunch of transport Vics. Looks like none of them. Okay, I stand corrected. We got 2 Dishka Vics there, and they're pointing to the plane all the way down on the runway, probably at a takeoff distance. That's pretty funny. All right, and then the helicopter is unarmed. There is no camera to it, so it has to have like a pilot and a co-pilot to view things around. But again, that is meant to be for transport. All right, looking at the Blue 4 Assault Force here. We have, where'd they go? They're right under. All right, we have 2 MTLBs with the 762 PKT. And we got another Dishka car. And it looks like these guys are also similarly armed, just no suppressor. So it's all literally riflemen and then some PK gunners, and then occasionally... Actually, no, that's it. All right. Just a rifle fight. I don't even see magnified optics on the squad leaders, so that's quite interesting. Yeah, it just has the red dot. Neat. All right, looking at Op 4 here for the Ion PMC forces. We have 2 113s with 50 cals. So right off the bat, Ion have slightly better APCs because they have armor defeating rounds, whereas Blue 4 only have the MTLBs. We also have Land Rovers with 50 cals. I'm going to be honest, the 50 cal is superior to the Dishka in terms of weapon platform, has double the ammo. And, I mean, that's all you really need at this point. Otherwise, Blue 4 looks like they've got Beta C-Mags for their LMG, so they only got 5.56 base weaponry. You hear them all bashing the truck right there. But otherwise, it looks like it's just M4 platforms. All right, and they're dressed up as fully in black. Let's look at the rest of Op 4 here. We got another 50 cal bipod. We've got another Huey that's all in black. They're going to have a Carl Gustav, which in my opinion is superior to the RPG, especially in terms of range. We got some suppressed M4 weapons as well. And that's just serving as their spec op team. A lot of naked dudes today. That's quite interesting. And then we're probably going to have 2 more M2 and then a bunch of other transport Vics. All right. Looking at our AOs real quick. Let's see if there's anything custom in them. Looks like there's some fortifications around a theory in terms of the little position they're supposed to be defending. So that's some pretty nice stuff to give them some fortifications, have their heads stick out. Got some vehicles in there for some flavor. All right. I like it. And then we've got Zaros. How does Zaros look? Also some fortifications around to defend the internal block area there. Okay, just some Hesco berries and whatnot. And then looking at the warehouses, even more, a little more prominent defense, actually. I kind of like that. And then we got some windmills up here for flavor. If you notice, they're not marked on the map, so these are just some extras. I like it. Just to put a little bit of extra cover down on that hilltop. And I think that is it. We got a little bit of a star fort fortification on there, which is quite nice. But otherwise, that is it. So feel free to get your bets in, guys. And, yeah. Gonna see some plain PvP, and we'll see how things go. And Charlotte, yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what you'll do. I'm gonna have my mission run on Half-Life as well to set the basis. But anyway, other announcements. The COG op. So here's what's really disappointing. I'm gonna rant a little bit. So that we got the COG op ready to go tonight. Not for tonight, but the mission sent in. I got a roster for everyone on Op 4. And I'm letting Dante's community take first dibs on slotting. And then when that's done, I'll send it to my guys and we'll get them slotted. It's more even now. Everyone gets an AK. I've just limited the magazines and whatnot. Next week, Saturday, is Otakon. So I'm not going to be here for Saturday. Here's what I'm missing. 1, Killcog. I'm not going to be able to commentate Killcog because I'm going to be literally there probably till like 2 a.m. So, oof to me. Second thing I'm missing, I got invited to go to a bit of a meet and greet style op between YouTubers and BI staff that may or may not be around that, you know, thing that's coming out in a bit. So, I'm really butthurt about that. I'm missing 2 really awesome things for Otakon, but I promised Bloodwind I'd go. And we have all this cosplay and stuff set up, but it's like, damn, of course. The one weekend I'm not going to be here, I'm not missing, you know, just a normal Saturday. No, I'm missing, like, the Saturday of the month. So it's like, damn, whatever. Oh, well. What can you do, right? So... I don't know, we got the SPE thing coming on the 25th. They don't know the exact time it's coming out, though, so there's, you know, quite a few people that were in on certain things, because if you notice that, you know, for previous CDLCs, there were closed betas tied to it and whatnot. As soon as it goes live, people like me that might or may not have been in said closed betas that may or may not have existed can put out, you know, some videos, but we don't know that. Who am I cosplaying? So Bloodwind's cosplaying Luna from Hell of a Boss on Friday, and then Saturday we're doing a Puss in Boots cosplay. So I'm going to be Big Jack Horner, and she's being, I forget, Death. So basically 2 furry wolf cosplays is what she's going for. For Oda. But, yeah. Thanks, Charlotte. I appreciate it. But otherwise... in terms of other developments here, I think that's really it. I'm going to bleed Nam halfway through next month, and I'm just going to run more stuff on the weekends in the Friday slot, and maybe some fill-in on the Tuesday slot, because Wednesdays is going to be dedicated to other Zeuses. But we're just still on track to, you know, get everything done that we need to get done. And then I know next week, by the end of it, when we're transitioning to August, we're going to be announcing all the re-shot Patreon perks and then, you know, some Twitch perks with that as well in terms of the subs and whatnot. No Mallow. Yeah, I know. But Granite would be pleased. God damn it. But either way, mission is starting. There's the call. We've got... aircraft taking off immediately for Blue 4. Let's go ahead and look at Op 4. Op 4 is the same way. Excellent. Convoy's heading out. Let's hope Blue 4 has their flaps down so they can properly take off. And then again, for the biplane, you don't really need a lot of speed to actually get that thing in the air. And we're good. Hold on. I'm going to tab out 1 second. Oh, someone just sent a massive post in the TeamSpeak channel for TFAR. That's kind of funny. But otherwise, here we are. Blue 4 immediately deploying forces out. Op 4 sending some forces back to the warehouses. Blue 4, it looks like they're committing almost everything on offense except for 1 group, so they're going to be very aggressive here. Hope these guys can take the left, otherwise they're going to drive on the peninsula and get stuck. Otherwise, helicopter Blue 4 already out in the gate. By the warehouses here, we got the biplane going forward because both sides had their spawn go forward into each other. So we'll just have a look and see where things go. So we have the plane. It looks like it's trying to trail the helicopter here. The other plane already opening up from quite a range. They're airdropping their dudes. So other planes following suit. Helicopter is landing to drop off their special forces. That front biplane just took a pretty nasty chunk of damage, and it looks like not everyone was able to jump out. Oh, if they're gonna bail, they need to bail now because they just took some heavy damage. Blue 4's plane stalling out. Looks like someone on Op 4 actually got knocked out because Op 4 is starting to engage. Excuse me, Blue 4's knocking out a few Op 4 guys. Helicopter's laying low. More guys jumping out. He tried to go low to potentially hit him. So he's trying to stay above him while this biplane keeps looking up to try to engage him, but then he bleeds speed. He's trying to do a dagger cut. Gets the knockout! Oh, near miss! He's diving though, can he recover? Tymek bails out, Blue Force pilot's able to recover, but OFCRA is knocked out, and he goes down. All right, excellent air kill by Blue 4 here. That was pretty awesome. Meanwhile, we still have a Special Forces fight. OFCRA has sent in additional forces to help out, but now Blue 4 has air support. But can that air support come in and assist? Because we see a lot of OFCRA coming up. They got the 50 cal cars on station. Got the Blue 4 plane coming in. We have additional reinforcements coming in on the warehouse area. And the Hueys are just flying orbitals here. Meanwhile, around here, we've got some ambushes set up. We could see the 50 cal car come in and pursue. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do here. I'm surprised they're not driving in to follow it, but they definitely got a knockout. There's a lot of people in it, though. They're just giving small arms fire, but it's not going to really do anything. And then over here, we've got Blue 4 has taken some damage here. We got an extended firefight going on over here. So combat already within the first few minutes of the early game. It's very rare to see something like that. Special Forces here are getting pushed pretty hard. You hear nothing but suppressed shooters engaging. You got the plane now trying to provide Cass here. Oh, a near miss with the Carl Gustav. And then he gets shot. Not sure if that was from Overwatch or what, but you still got that 50 cal firing up in this compound. There's at least 2 different active firefights going on right now. That third OFCRA let them blow by. And are you shooting at your own? Please tell me you weren't, based off of the tracers. Nope, he might have been doing red on red there, because they were in that direction. That's no bueno. Plane flying overhead again. Overcommits, but gets just over the forest. Got some marksman fire coming from back here as this group tries to close in. Weiss gets the knockout on Maddie, but gets, or excuse me, the Blue 4 guy got the knockout on Maddie, but Weiss takes him out. And Mackenzie's the only Blue 4 Special Forces guy still alive right here. Huey's trying to come in to potentially save him. But OFCRA are coming up on the stack. Other Huey comes in. That's a near miss. 50 cal now trying to fire at the Huey to get him a wave off. Plane comes in, though. And is on the 6 of the Huey. Huey dodges the shots. Plane goes low. Oh, that's going to be bumpy. And they just in time recover it. Huey now on at 6, but with no weaponry to engage. Mackenzie trying to find an angle to engage some of these Blue 4, OFCRA guys that are breaching him, excuse me. Other firefight still on a bit of an overwatch. Plane coming around, trying to line up another shot on that Huey there. 50 cal suppressing Mackenzie to fold back. Mackenzie has no choice but to fold in. You got some of OFCRA coming in. Surprise, Mackenzie should honestly be going to the really cheap spot right there. He's going to push down. He heard the door open. Snary's breaching. Mackenzie survives that. Does he come around? Grenade gets thrown. Mackenzie has no choice to push. Grenade's going to double tap. Ouch. Blue 4 plane still circling there. Blue 4 might have won the plane fight, but they lost the Special Forces fight. However, Blue 4's second wave can start moving in on the warehouse position. OFCRA have dedicated only a handful of guys to their defensive sector, whereas Blue 4 have done none. I think it's just ground command holding back there. Speaking of which, Flipper Flaps commanding Blue 4, Lolo's commanding OFCRA. And you still have this long-range engagement here. I'm wondering if OFCRA is going to remount and try to head it on this position, but if you look, Op4 have been smacked on this Overwatch position. Blue 4 lost another vehicle. Looks like it was one of their Dishka cars because we have the gun mount in the back. Other group dismounted, but Op4 have been pretty much all knocked out in this position. QRF's trying to come to reinforce, but if this continues, Blue 4 has a really good chance of going and taking the rear position here. Op4, their force that tried to move in has been deflected, but Op4, I don't know, numbers-wise, are pretty even with that other group of Blue 4. I think just, even though Op4 only has a handful of guys tied up on the rear, that's what's, that could be the number gap at this point. But looking at the casualty list, we actually don't see a lot. Blue 4, looks like all their special forces guys have left the server, but Blue 4 might have started with a few more guys instead of it being kept completely even. So, hard to say. How are you doing, Shark? All right. It doesn't look like Op4 is waking back up, but that second wave is starting to dismount over here. Could get an ambush on them. I'm surprised they're not using their... oh, it is up in the front. Okay. So you got Blue 4 double tapping some Op4 bodies. 50 cal opening up, gets a knockout on the tree. Starts opening up on additional Blue 4 here. That vehicle's engine is smoked, so these guys are going to be pinned in this position. Got this additional force digging entrenchments on the road, but could still be flanked if Op4 notices them, but it looks like there's a little bit of concealment in the way. There's that more 50 cal fire right here. Blue 4 plane is potentially coming in to provide cast subsistence. Or it's close air support, so, you know, just saying assistance would just double ups on that. I digress. Blue 4 now moving on to the hilltop here. Neither side has been able to move into this position here, but Blue 4, they got a good chunk of guys on Overwatch. Op 4 is pretty well spread out. Huey still providing orbitals over here. And we have this car, that Dishka, firing all the way back here. But it's attempting to suppress this battle tower. And since those rounds, since it's 12.7, those will be able to penetrate, they just need to basically empty the mag into the tower, and they could potentially get some knockouts or even kills from that position. Air appears to be circling this position right here. We got a Huey back here. Not sure what that Huey is doing back here. It's landed. You got Blue 4 still on this ridge. Their MTLB has been smoked, so I think the engine's going to be down. Op 4's in the city right here. We're having an extended firefight. Blue 4 have the Overwatch positions, but Op 4 have the town. And then you have this position where Op 4 are only attacking with 5 guys. But they managed to cook off that vehicle, excuse me. But it doesn't look like... Okay, one guy did die. But that is it here. So these guys are outnumbered. Blue 4 could turn around and engage, but only if they combine the two of their forces here. And you got the MTLB doing some blind suppression up there as they try to find units to engage. All right. Gas plane still flying around, trying to find Op 4 here. Huey flying around as Blue 4 have breached in and taken the warehouse position. They're going to have to hold this area till the end of the game. Either way, I'd say Blue 4 has a slight advantage here, but that could turn around at any second. Because Op 4 have some pretty good Overwatch. I'm not sure how effective that cast plane is going to be, because with those twin 50 cals, it's only good at firing at enemy aircraft and vehicles. For strafing individual infantry, it's very difficult to do. But if this Op 4 group can break through this Blue 4 element and get to Zaros, because I think this Blue 4 element's going to eventually eliminate all these guys. Unknown if they'll be able to take Athera, though, because there is a decent defensive line back there. But again, the main fight's going to end up being for that warehouse. So we had Cass coming on the vehicle there. Disabling Vix would also be a good call. But Blue 4, they're getting knocked out in their fortifications here. But Air is taking pot shots from Op 4. And this overwatching 50 cal. Thought I saw a knockout symbol over here. Oh, it was on this Vic. The gunner is dead. So Engine just got knocked out as well. Toxic switches to the PKT. Is attempting to go for a kill here because the gunner ran out of ammo. But that stopped this Blue 4 advance because all their Vics have been destroyed. So they're going to be pinned here for a while. I think on foot they could still make it. Oh, that's going to be a long distance, but you also have to remember Blue 4 has the Huey that can land and pick people up if need be. So these guys just need to survive, and then they have to transition into basically air assault at that point. But OFCRA, they're breaking units away. Okay, so we do have a marksman in play here. He's just really overranged. But the gun, okay, so this is just an angle issue on my end. Because clearly, based off of the angle, you saw the bullet go down to Blue 4, but based off of what we're seeing, it's not the case. We got the Cass bird up. I think that's caused these guys to disperse. But we could see Cass take a shot on this gun car here. So it looks like he's now lining up to do a gun run. Doing a bit of a closer flyby to try to see where OFCRA is. Yep, you see him looking from his view distance there. I'll be curious to see if this gun car can get a shot.
Why do we build our planes?
Huey is also coming in. Huey's been doing a great job of just providing overwatch rolls at the very least. But I'm a little worried about this Blue 4 defensive line. Hold up, Huey's coming in. Uh-oh. Top-down shots, 50 cal. Tried to put some rounds in. Got some minor hits on him, but that was it. Huey now circling. Marksman still engaging and getting some knockouts where he can. Both sides had a 50 cal biplane for Cass, but OFCRA got their shot down by the Blue 4-1. He's looking for that car. Oh! And the gunner gets killed! Plane killed cheeseburger. That's awesome. Oddball just flying a straight line away. I'm not sure if he's out of ammo. Maybe he got wounded, so he's doing some medical on himself. Otherwise, Blue 4 still holding this position. They got a big chunk of forces down here. Blue 4 also holding the final objective. OFCRA sending a few trickle forces around, but otherwise they're still up here holding this area. I wonder how much ammo they have on the 50 cal Vic. Looks like it was moved to where I don't know. Okay, it's up here. Seen some machine gun fire from the Blue 4 defensive line trying to fire up on that hill. I think the plane's flying over to check on Zaros to see if there's any OFCRA around it, since they're going to think they got their kill here. You saw the gunner sloop over. Still have the Huey flying overhead. And we're still in early game, and at least, I want to say, a third of the server has been killed off at this point. Most people, when it's this early, will just leave for the day and call it, you know? Alright, so OFCRA up here, they got access to 2 heavy vehicles for machine gun support. Blue 4, though, they're dug in on the actual defensive building here. And they got some decent overwatch back here as well. Looks like they're just suppressing Sam's position, but they're also going for the house right here as well. which I believe has the Blue 4 PKP gunner with the red dot. Yep, the PKAS site. Blue 4 has another Dishka Vic, though. They're going to bring that up. Looks like they broke one of the wheels, though. They probably broke both of them and repaired one. And now they're just trying to find an angle.
Battle tower and the hill right in front of us from where we are.
To engage people. The Blue 4 did their flyby. Didn't see any movement in Zaro, so now they're coming back on station to provide more CAS. MTLB still suppressing up here. But yeah, the OPFOR guys here, I'm going to be honest, I think they either need to load up in their Vic and move on. They can either go back and join the defenses in Athira, or they can go and join this force and move out. Because it looks like Blue 4 have pulled back. They're going to be grabbing their helicopter. Now, I'm curious to see, are they going to pull back and hold Zaros itself, or are they going to go on offense into Athira? I think knowing that this large force is right here, they're probably going to pull back and play defense. And then you got the CAS plane just landing? Did he run out of fuel? Is he trying to then ride the mountain down to get speed? That's exactly what he's doing. Okay. Yeah, GTA 5 logic, but it works in Arma, therefore. Oh my god. What the plane doing? Right, so we still got an OPFOR garrison down here. We got these guys that have pushed off from this angle. Huey has opted not to pick people up. Instead, they're back here holding a new defensive position. Okay. Cal's fired up here. Uh-oh. Oh, he made too steep of a turn. There's power lines. Oh, he goes over the power lines. His engine's on fire. The 50 cal tore him up. He's bleeding altitude. Uh-oh. There's a tree. Wow. Huh. Does an epic takeoff only to be shot down a minute later. That's awesome. All right, so both sides CAS is down. OPFOR, it looks like they're pulling away from the warehouse position. With the enemy Vic in hand, they might be pulling up here or to pick up ground command. And then either do another attack wave or play defensive, but now we're just going to see a lot of transitioning. And the front two wheels broke. So they're getting out of that now. Amazing. That's why you should drive single file so you don't do stupid stuff. And we got Solik up here who's been knocked uncon, and he had the Carl G. So we'll see if Blue 4 goes and retakes it. I think that was originally theirs. Oh, Adamek, it's your squad? Yeah, putting the special and special forces, eh? I don't doubt it. So OFCRA pushing this position that Blue 4 has pretty much abandoned. We see a few bodies, but nothing significant. Blue 4 instead is chilling back here. We have an invisible dude. Cool. Beyond that, looks like Blue 4 is pushed up to check this position out. They're going to find a transport Vic, though, and that's going to help them out. OFCRA, meanwhile, back here, just trying to figure out what to do. Looks like they're doing a remount. Hey, Animac, if you choose to be mostly naked running around, I mean, that's on you, broski.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun to drive in. Otherwise, Huey, I think, is just flying around to stall that Blue 4 group from moving in. OFCRA at this point, we got about 36 minutes left. Before the 60-minute objective is cashed in. OFCRA can still go down and take Zaros. OFCRA still has some defensive units on Aethera. Blue 4, they're going to find that car. Might have to use their Huey to move the rest of the guys, but now we're just going to have a long-range fight between riflemen here. Oh, you spawned naked. Okay. I'm still going to rule that as a stylistic choice by yourself, but it's fine. They can fight naked. So we see them scouting out the opponent's position. Blue 4 had an opportunity to move everyone, but they opted just to hold them at this spawn point. We still have the Huey on station. We could see these guys actually moving over to hit these dudes or make an ambush point for them. It's hard to say at this point. Blue 4, they have their command Vic hidden away right there. I wonder what OFCRA's is. With Lolo around, it would be... Looks like just another Land Rover. But otherwise, that OFCRA force pushed back with the 50 cal. Whew. Based on the angle these guys are going, they might be going back to pick up the 113. Or they're just going to drive by and potentially just go and attack the Blue 4 element that's still there, which is why the Huey's overhead to make sure they are still there. So I'd say game-wise, Blue 4 is in a good position to win, but OFCRA could still bounce back, especially if they're able to go into Zaros and take that point. We could see these guys bypass and just head completely south into Zaros, as these guys move in to ambush these guys to prevent them from going into Aethera. So if OFCRA holds Aethera and Zaros, they get 5 points, and then all they need to do is have 8 guys alive to get the 6th, and then potentially kill the enemy side leader for the 7th. But this could also very well be a tied game between Blue 4 only holding the warehouse and not getting anything else. Wait, these guys came back. What did they come back for? Ah, the 113, okay. I figured because the cars were quicker, they were taking those, but the 113 does have a 50 cal, and that can be pretty useful for especially disabling enemy Vics to keep them pinned, or destroying, or at least knocking out the engine of the Huey if they attempts to land to pick people up. Looks like this Vic, though, it's going to stay in the area, trying to find a decent position, put its 50 cal on to basically fire at from afar, as again, OFCRA keeps that force pinned, but we got OFCRA with their 113 going ahead. Uh-oh. Oh! Yeah. That's the issue with doing Overwatch like that. You can't tell. Oh, is he going to run him over again? Bro, he's just putting all this smoke up here. He doesn't see where he's going. Blue 4 retreating on foot. Bipod on an AK. Oh no. So he just rejoined, that was his AI, so he's gonna think he needs to hold that, but in reality he's about to run into the entire Op 4 force. He's got an RPK though. And Op 4 is forced to go in one at a time. Oh, he's going for the flank around. And they trade, but Op 4 only gets a knockout, so a medic could still bring them back. He's trying to boop him. Hello. Oh, he's trying to come around the other direction. Misses. It's like a shark circling. Da-da. Oh, he's trying to shoot him because the back's open. I thought the rule was you can't run them over, right? You can't run them over. I didn't see Op 4 run him over. So therefore, there was no rule break. There's nothing against you driving ominously around your target. He didn't hit him. Therefore, there wasn't a rule break. All right, Blue 4 loses 2. They're down to 4. Actually, no, 5 guys. There's another guy right there. Attempted murder is still a crime? I didn't see any attempt. He just hit a few boxes. Nah, there was no attempt. There wasn't an attempt. You're being too literal. I mean, Blue 4 is the police, though. So, you know, if there's no police officers in the area, technically anything's legal. But that's a debate for another day. So we got Op 4 still boxing this Blue 4 element in here. They stole a Blue 4 car, and now they're going to try to mount up in it to break out. Will it be able to carry everyone, though? I think it has 2 more seats. Oh, no. All right. So we're going to have to see 3 people get left behind at a minimum, and then the Huey's going to have to come in to pick people up. Damn, if only they had some sort of, like, aircraft that moved in the sky that had transport that could, like, you know, pick people up and move them. That'd be fine. All right, Blue 4 holding out this remaining position here. Down to 5 guys as Op 4 pushes in with something double their number. Delta gets a knockout on a Miliano. Out of ammo. Skipu and Danelia moving up. Murdy looking at a weird angle. Ninebane gets thrown in, and you see Murdy's character reacting to it. Manshot falls in. They spot him and take him out. Delta's still trying to get some kills here. Blue 4 just seems really unorganized at the moment. Like, they're all looking at different angles, not really supporting each other. Arthy's gonna get shot in the back of the head at this rate. Yep. Manshot pulling back. Jonathan gets knocked out, and Delta's the only one overwatching at this point. What was that? All right, they threw a grenade in there. They're breaching that room. It's empty. Jonathan looks like they're not waking back up. Manshot pulling back to do some medical. Blue 4 Vic's completely pulled back. Looks like the Op 4 one is going to try to go and pursue. They do have a 50 cal car, and that is 8 dudes, so that's a lot of damage they could potentially do. But after this, Op 4 I think is just going to mount and drive into Zaros, and they got plenty of time to do it. So I feel like this is going to more than likely end up as a tied game. Jonathan Well, it took Snoobus a second, but he was able to get it. Oh, Delta. That's brilliant. That's freaking brilliant. All right. We got our sole survivor here, still focused on that Vic. Land Rover's now driving around, unsure if they were able to watch this Vic drive back here. Did they break their wheels?
West of the watch out marker.
Donde está el círculo y la flecha puesta.
Wait, but...
Podría haber un vehículo enemigo que está entero para conducirlo.
But... Hold on. Something, something doesn't seem right here.
Where are we going? Where do
Okay, take the road south until we get to core.
Yeah.
It looks like... Okay. The engine was off, that's why. As long as the wheels are moving forward but the engine's off, then yeah, you know, you're not going to be able to drive forward, apparently. Meanwhile, you got this group that's dismounted. You got these three guys on the rear. They hear that vehicle. They don't have any AT. That'll be an interesting fight to clean up. Right under their nose. Oh, man, we're not even halfway through the round yet, but I'm going to be honest, I think it's going to get really slow now because Blue 4 are just going to hold the warehouse. Op 4 don't have any resistance to push into Zaros. Otherwise, Blue 4 back on the road. And Op 4, I don't think are in a position to find them unless they cut left and see the Vic on the road, but we got the Huey flying overhead. They're going the wrong way. I'm wondering if the Huey can coordinate with the Land Rover to tell them, hey, turn around. They're right there. But I guess we're not going to see it today. All right, meanwhile, we got some 50 cal firing over at the Huey. Okay. I think the Huey was coming in to pick these three up, but that 113 is going to keep them pinned. But the three-man team is actually pushing towards the enemy. Interesting choices. Huey's playing chicken. Op 4 have dismounted from the Vic. But yeah, no, that Blue 4 Vic's in the heart of Zaros now. So, or excuse me, Core. They might be going over to potentially pick up Manco and then pull back to Zaros. Interesting choices. I mean, I can just tell from the fact that that Vic's not coordinating with that Air Vic for that comms are very, very disjointed between units at this point. You got these guys all looking around. Op 4 took some damage. They got AT ready. And they're pulling back now. Meanwhile, Op 4 looks like they're trying to mount everyone in the 113. I think they might have too many people for it. So, again, they're going to have to rely on their helicopter to come land and pick people up so they can move them down. And the 113 should be sent out to go and set up a blocking position or at least an LZ for the chopper at this point. I feel like both sides could coordinate with their helicopters to basically deploy units in the field air assault style, but we're just not seeing it. You know? So really action-packed beginning, but it's just kind of petering out as both sides are now opting to play defense, and we got some skirmishes going on, but nothing too heavy. I guess the question now becomes, where is that OPFOR team going to go now, because they're not going to be able to do any coordination. Looks like the Blue 4 chopper is coming in on this LZ to attempt a landing. Will OPFOR try to stop it? Because again, the enemy Huey should be tracking this. They got 2 RPGs out. What? Oh, they're firing out the MTLB. It's a miss. Engine stopped smoking, though. Yeah, I don't think the OPFOR Huey's coordinating with anyone, because I feel like they'd be able to tell these guys that the chopper's landing. And the crazy thing is, I think that 50 cal has eyes on that chopper from the angle it's at. So it just didn't see it. And it might be because they can't tell which one's friendly and which one's enemy. So Blue 4's going to get their 3 guys out. They might potentially link up with these guys and pick some of them up, but I don't think all of them are going to be able to fit, because that was a fully loaded 8-person Vic. And then they're just going to basically air down and potentially go to Zaros and defend it, or just double down at the warehouses. Or they could go for an attack on Etheria, because point-wise, if you get the enemy's position, deciding not to hold your own, you just tie it up. So it might be a wise choice for them just to go on the offensive to at least nullify if OPFOR takes Zaros, because you're always going to do better attacking than defending on an even scenario like this. But they could also, Chopper could be heading over to Manto. I feel like this would have been a better round if both sides were properly communicating, but we're not getting that level of communication. Where are you landing? Are they going for this Vic? That's the only thing I can think of for them to land over here for. But at that point, why? Why not use the air Vic to transport? Why are they relying on ground? Okay. I feel like that's a really silly thing to do. But of course, you know, we have the Omnipotent can see everything in the sky. But I feel like at this point, using your air Vic to put units in would be the best call. Got OPFOR on Overwatch now. Looks like they've finally found the Blue 4 guys and are actively tracking.
Move into the compound.
So we'll just have to see how that goes.
The enemy again, we mark them.
Yeah, they're getting that marked. And again, I can only assume they're going for that car to transport people. OPFOR, though, they're going to eventually bypass, head into that objective. They've got 18 minutes to do it, but that's plenty. And then these guys over here, I think, are bypassing. It's only... Okay, no, it's 8 people. They're going to try to take Etheria, so we'll see if Blue 4 sends reinforcements over. They took that garrison from the warehouse area. So I feel like Blue 4 is at a slightly better position here. Because if both sides trade the defensive objectives, both sides gain 4 points. Blue 4 already has defensive units on the warehouse. But who knows? We could see this garrison actually wipe that entire Blue 4 group. But I would think Blue 4 would send reinforcements in this attack to guarantee it and then pull everything back, either with ground units or air, and then land at the warehouses that they already control and move from there. So it's weird, but this is often what you see when both sides are lacking communication between assets. I'm just curious. I think Blue 4 dismounted here because the Op 4 guys sweeped the police assault unit spawn. They don't know where they went. Little do they know they're like 2 clicks away. They're going straight to Zaros. They're going to have no resistance. So Op 4 is going to get those 4 points. Blue 4, though, moving to Aethera. I think Op 4 is expecting a fight at Zaros. Blue 4 is expecting a fight at Aethera. That's why both sides are going to end up playing this very cautiously. But if that's the case, Op 4 should be sending reinforcements to assist at Zaros, and Blue 4 should be sending reinforcements to assist at Aethera. Since both sides are really just going for each other's objective, at least Op 4's put a picket defense at their defensive area. So what we need to see in terms of transition is these guys push to help take Zaros, or maybe they'll put some early pressure on the warehouse. It all depends on if these guys can get comms out to say, hey, Zaros is empty, you guys can just immediately put pressure on the warehouse area instead. Blue 4, meanwhile, since they already committed a force out of the warehouse, that shows that their interest is to take Aethera, so they should be sending all of this QRF to there, but the fact that they're not shows that they're just having a communication issue. And now you have the Huey all the way up here for some weird reason. They already evac the guys out of Sirta, so I'm trying to figure out what the plan is. They dismounted those guys. They now have a transport car, but it's like, what's going on? And then that team has left the transport. I'm really confused. I think these guys, again, they're trying to see if that position's clear or not, but at this point, since your car is so important, you should be keeping it with you. These guys are going to hear the engine sound of these Vics coming in. At least they're able to PID today. Otherwise, I was worried this group would start shooting at that group. But these guys are going to get cleaned up. Have no transport Vic. That transport Vic might have to fold in and take them, but these Blue 4 units are being completely wasted in terms of potential right now, I think because they're hunting for Op 4. But again, Blue 4 needs to assume the logic of, okay, if Op 4 takes this position, where are they going to go from there? They're either going to go to the warehouse or they're going to go for Zaros for the 4 points. So I don't get why Blue 4 is doing this co-main thing here. The only reason they would think that is if they think Op 4 is still here, but now you're going to have the Vic engaged. And these guys need to be popping smokes and trying to drive out immediately. The only thing I can think of is Latius is AFK in the driver's seat right now. He has to be AFK in the driver's seat. Sandom gets multiple headshots, but the Alton deflects some of it. Damn, you know, I've seen some 13-year-olds play Arma 3. I've never seen a 3-year-old play Arma 3. That's awesome. Bro's literally a baby. No wonder he's a recruit. Wow, he's a ninja, though, so I guess they start young. Now, I wasn't expecting to see child soldiers on the police force, but... oh, well, you know? Damn, his voice grew up quick. Man, if only there was a way they could, like, quickly get away from this position, you know? I'm sure the foots, their feet will work fine when they're being suppressed from a position with, you know, no cover. They'll be fine. Damn, guys, if only there was a way for them to quickly get out. Oh, well. Maybe the engine was shot out. Well, unfortunately, the 3-year-old was taken out. You... pew, pew! Okay. And these guys are doing a long-range fight with these guys. Man, my sight is off for that. Marksman's actually hitting him too, which is quite nice. Blue 4's attack wave is coming in from the factory. Blue 4 have those additional 3 guys from Angry Dinosaur heading in. Sixme is a well-known hacker, yeah, right? He's one of the best players in the game. What's the Huey doing? Why are you flying over your own whatever. What's that would be having a field day with this if he saw it? Oh my god. Alright, Op4 is transitioned up to here. Blue 4 is now pulling back on foot. Looks like Mancho's gonna get with friendly forces here. At least he hears the gunfire and I guess is just heading up to either PvP or just assumes that there might be friendlies over here being engaged. The 113 is turned around and is engaging. That tells me that Op4 either knows there's no one in Zaros and is gonna fly forces in at the last minute to drop them off so they can commit all their infantry to the fighting, which would be amazing in terms of a design decision, or they're just not gonna attack Zaros at all and forego that, in which case Blue 4 is more than likely gonna get Etheria and then also hold the warehouses and just win by default. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Blue 4 gets the 4 points there, and they don't have anyone in Zaro, so I don't think they'll get the extra point, but with warehouses then worth 5 points, it's GG at that point. Grenades thrown in. Also, how you doing, Muskell? Did you have a chance to look at the mission file for COG? Is everything good? Otherwise, let me know and I'll get some fixes in.
No tengo de humo.
Alright, so real quick. Mancho's been able to get up here. He's wasn't blue on blued. That's great. Meanwhile, looking at Lassius' last stand here. Oh, he's getting behind him. Except he is then shot in the back by Pogo. Underscore. And proceeds to get double tapped up Main Street, and he's dead. Next fight's gonna be right over here, and Op4 I don't think knows that Blue 4's coming yet. I'm gonna be honest, this is still a good chunk of infantry that Op4 has. I think even if Etheria gets taken by Blue 4, this chunk could then go into the warehouses and still win. So it's still anyone's game.
Va bene, dai.
Just hard to say. These two, though, they're gonna get shot on the rear. There's Parthius. Literally whiffed all of those shots. I don't see any blood. It would go to the bottom, but damn. All right. So much for that ambush. Blue top fair playing their presence. Ha! Now we see smokes going everywhere. Parthius is already in the zone.
Stanno alberi insieme al cazzo.
You know, Maple, it be like that sometimes. I'm gonna be honest, I, again, enjoyed the initial comment. We have Blue 4 burning AT on some buildings. This just shows me Blue 4 doesn't know where Op 4 is, even though there were like a bunch of dudes on the rooftop. That's fine. And then we got Blue 4 still holding on that hill. I'm gonna want to check over here real quick. Is the heli coming in to pick people up? It is. All right. Op 4's heli was shot down. What caused that? It had to have been small arms because Blue 4 doesn't have any 50 cal. They don't have any AT either. Nasta's on 4 kills. All right. Get that 113 up. Shoot it. Ay, ay, ay. So that one guy on point defense got picked off. Blue 4's trying to rescue their own dudes. These guys are being sent on foot. They have 7 minutes to transverse a click and a half to get into Zaros to get the points. Ain't that funny? So OFCRA, they put something else into this building to knock it out. I think they misidentified because these are the exact same building texture where OFCRA was, but Blue 4 is just chewing through these units here. OFCRA have multiple down. I think OFCRA had 6 to start. Satchel's going off. Not sure. Okay, that was Wombat because he's marked as a combat engineer and he managed to kill himself with his own boom boom. I'm going to be honest, editing all my PvP footage recently, I'm going to say it happens more often than you'd think. Wombat made the mission. That's even funnier. But again, they've taken out the Ron building. They've managed it literally just like clockwork. Maybe they'll hit this one finally, but man. I appreciate it though that they're using explosives to take out buildings that they know OFCRA could be potentially garrisoning. I think when you're doing urban PvP on an objective, the best way as the attacker to rout out defenders is to just blow their cover up. Kill them from the inside. What I find really funny is this team... Honestly, they need to be triple timing it at this point. The fact that they have guns up means that they still think there's going to be Overwatch forces in here. So if they think that there's armed forces in here and they only have 6.5 minutes, 5.5 minutes to get in there, what's the point? What's the point then? Because they're not going to get there in the time. So unless they are going to commit to it in triple time, they're not going to get it. And if they go in defensively, they only have 5.5 minutes to do it, in which case, if they're expecting a firefight, what's the point? The Pewee should have air-vac'd people over there, or at least gotten intel to say, hey, it's empty, so that these guys can then run in triple time because they have less than 5 minutes to get there and they got a click to go. And I'm going to be honest, that's 200 meters a minute, which I think is doable if you were triple timing. So Blue 4 have more dudes in the AO than OPFOR. It's a 5-4. So any trade, OPFOR just needs to get a kill or two. And this guy got caught on some cages and he got plucked. What a shame. Shay firing at Rika. I think the sectors, they go to the number advantage for the time, but now we have even more OPFOR forces pushing up into here. So again, OPFOR's only hope is going to be to basically push on the warehouse position. We got some Vics driving back, but at that point, what's the point? They're not going to make it in time. I'm so sorry, that was the wrong button. I meant to hit the map key. NASA gets his 5th kill, I believe, on Snary. Sorry, I blinded you. Tweet King alive? No. He's dead. Because I think he's the cardboard. Similar to how you're lone survivor of us, but in the game you're Azariah. I know, I burned your eyes. Oh no. It's the Zixme standard. He's gonna ambush a position that OPFOR's not expecting. Explosives going off. I guess they put an explosive trap on their own position, but Blue 4's now trying to counter to head up here as OPFOR is folding in. I'm going to quickly look back here. Blue 4, I'd say, have this. There's only 3 defenders. They've got those guys completely outnumbered. Hold up. I want to see the Zixme special. He misses all of his shots. Then again, I could be wrong. Nope, he got a kill with that. Okay. I don't know who he killed. Because this body I thought was already here, but I could be wrong. Did he kill a gunner in the Vic? No, hard to say. Now you got Maddie running around trying to figure out what's going on. Blue 4 now pushing. Demovar gets the kill. There's 2 dead OPFOR right here. Did he just get a double? Huh. Maddie, did Zixme just get a handgun kill with the Glock? That's amazing. Wait, loot the RPG! Loot the RPG! RPG. There it is. Yes. Yes. Look at this reversal that Blue 4's doing. He's like, oh, I'm safe in here. That's an explosive charge. Okay, no, that's a grenade. All right. Yeah. Yeah. That's a big chunk of OFCRA's manpower wiped. How are these guys doing? They are still a minute away, and they only got up 300 meters, and they stopped.
Clear. They're going to infiltrate inside.
Infiltriamo nella montagna?
I guess to scout it out, which means there was never any scouting done, but it's going to be cashed in a minute. OFCRA sending some counter-attacking stuff here. That car was able to make it. The entire garrison, except for Rico, was taken out, though. But Blue 4 still had the manpower advantage. Looks like this building was finally blown up, and now Blue 4 are the ones playing defense. I guess they blew it up after hearing that OFCRA was in it. And they're double-tapping bodies. I assume Rika's doing medical back here. Nope. Holding a single window. Cash-in's gonna be in a bit. We have OFCRA have done a second layer of counterattacking, and that's caused even more Blue 4 to die because they were ambushed. Zixby now up to 5 kills, doing some quick medical. He's got a suppressed M4. So OFCRA, at least with their final squad, are able to bounce back. Got Zixby and Manshot, though. Manshot survived so many engagements, but Zixby, I mean, he's the killer here. And there it is, cash in. It says they all failed. What? Blue 4 clearly had a number advantage, though. RPK with a 45-round magazine, and it just beats out Zixby. Mantra, I think, just got kill number 3. Yep. Maybe because both sides had people in the sector, that's not really supposed to be how it works, but I'm going to be honest, these points don't matter. And I'll explain why when we have another lull. Blue 4 should have technically gotten the points in here. I think those triggers failed to fire. But at the same time, with how it played out, these points do not matter. And that is because it's going to be down to whoever holds the warehouses. So OFCRA at this point, OFCRA can only tie and Blue 4 can only win. Yeah, maybe it needed to be 100% control. It's hard to say, but again, I think it's just going to be a matter of who has the warehouses. He's got a nice spot right here, but he's got a marksman rifle and he misses all of his shots. This guy online looking around. Parthius looking around, can't find the angle where that shooter is. Yeah, it's, what are these 4 chuckleheads gonna do now, though? Because they just have literally like a 20-minute walk to get into the warehouses. We're down to the last 30 minutes. Manshot up here, holding out what he can. He gets a knockout, not a kill, but he's on kill number 4 now. And I'm gonna be honest, what infantry does OFCRA have? I think Parthius just got taken out. Yep, Sky Online found him from his Overwatch position as he was pulling away. Blue 4, they have Vix over here. They can just remount and then drive over to the warehouse. OFCRA, they got a 4-man team to the south and a few guys in a car. I think there's 3 dudes in here. No, this is OFCRA ground command. Okay. And then they got the 3 dudes over here with a 1-1-3. I think Blue 4's won this. Expo wakes back up. He's just laying low. But I think this is going to be it. Blue 4 just going to mount up, go hold the warehouse with the full group. Op 4, I think they're trying to come in here to see if there's any vehicles, which they might be able to take the civilian cars here if they're unlocked. So that 4-man team will be able to go and hit the warehouses, but beyond that, so got Manchot over here.
And then we have the last position of Plaza and the provider.
He's folding back after missing all those rounds, give Wiki a chance to turn around. Look at the C-mags on these guys, though. Trying to bait out more shots. And the Blue 4, I mean, they still have their Huey to pick up people. But I think this is it. Just gonna see these guys potentially loot some of the bodies here and then pull back. Blue 4 did a great job of attacking and then holding against that counterattack. Op 4 lost a good chunk of infantry, and that's it. Anyway, guys, we'll be back in little around 2 hours for some POG on the ground, and then I'm either going to go into TMTM and play on the ground or just do more video editing or some mission design stuff. Tough to see, but yeah, this round was pretty okay.
Second big, okay.
Second vehicle spanner, second vehicle.
Right?
Stop, change, stop, stop.
Everett just shot me a message on Discord saying he was happy to see the Casper dogfight happen. Lag issue get solved in the tunnel? I didn't look into it yet. Since that mission's going to be run next Wednesday, at least with that tunnel complex next, I'm not looking into it till then, roughly. Worst comes to worst, I'll just have the bodies on pallets if it's a textural issue, or I'll just put the dirt texture in certain areas, because COG, I don't have to have a lot of infantry on, and then my guys, what I'm planning on doing for it is I don't have to worry, if that makes any sense. Otherwise, Blue 4 pulling back. Op 4 have mounted up in this area. These guys mounted up in a car they found. So it looks like they, Land Rover drove down and picked them up. So Op 4, I mean, they're only down to 8 people. Blue 4, I think, has double, if not triple that. Yeah, I still can't believe they got lost. They had a good marking system, but then they abandoned it halfway through, but... No, I'm gonna be... If I can figure out what was causing that issue... Because it could have been a lot of things, but we're not gonna know until I pretty much run it again. Due to annoying biplane players. That's fair. So I think these guys are just waiting on Overwatch around the warehouse to get more coverage. More Blue 4 is going to come in. And we're just going to see Op 4 trickle in 2 potential attacks here. But I think what I'm going to be doing when this mission ends, I'm going to go publish the Half-Life mod set in its entirety. I need to check if one of the Zeus guy was looking for posted and approved of that. All right. Just been busy all the time. Yeah, there was a biplane dogfight earlier. I wouldn't really call it a dogfight. It was more so one biplane was constantly on the ass of another because one was used for CAS and another was used for transport. Both were armed with 50 cal though, and the transport one was never able to then get the upper hand. And the Blue 4 one was able to notice what the Op 4 one was trying to do and just counter every bit of it. Yeah, this stream. All right, we got our first car driving in. That's going to have 5 Op 4. Blue 4's reinforcements going to be driving in around the same time to take the position. I'd imagine Op 4's is going to dismount probably somewhere in the town, moving on foot through the forest and begin their fight over here. Anyone's bingo sheets filled out? I'm having a random craving for pesto pasta, too. So I'm using this downtime to catch up with Discord DMs, but as I predicted, we got a dismount going into here, just a block away. They're going to clear a block and then probably try to get on this hilltop for Overwatch and then push in. 20 minutes remaining. I'm going to be honest, I think this is going to be over in 10 because they're going to see this group dismount. Maybe they'll stop and take pot shots at the Huey, but this group of 5, I think, is going to be able to break through the initial Overwatch here. It's just the transition from that ridge to over here is what's going to kill them. Who doesn't, Zam? Yeah. Yeah, so they're stopping to engage the Huey. We actually hear it get a hit. Engine's down. And you need to pull up a bit more. It's a little too late for that because your tail might hit the ground. He's just able to bleed the speed. Tail hits the ground too first, and he's dead. All right. Gonna be honest, in my opinion, it wasn't worth the bullets because it was just a Huey, but whatever. They're gonna now potentially go up to the hill and dismount and try to do some long range shots. Not sure if Blue 4 has any AT left because it was the engineers that took it. But they can just snipe off the gunner. Alexander's gonna get Hillary Clinton by Lolo. I wonder where the enemy are. Hey, Alexander, what if I told you they were right behind you?
Oh, I see movement west of Battle Tower.
Oh. There was also movement behind you. Whew. Yeah, he saw movement. He definitely saw movement.
1-3.
Okay, so Blue 4, we got a Carl Gustav here. Yeah, behind you, bro. Oh! Beautiful GL shots there. Bloop. Blue 4's first line, I thought it was going to be a bit more of a trade, but they're getting executed. Now you got Seismo holding the line. He has the machine gun. Still has that PKP. Matt goes to where his buddy died and also dies, proving that when someone dies, it's a kill zone. Oh, it's brutal. Now you got the 50 cal firing up into here. Rounds are short, though. Now it's starting to land inside. Lolo's pushing Seismo's building. He's taking the Carl Gustav. Lolo comes in, Seismo is covering, and Seismo outperforms with that PKP. Carl Gustav delivery service as well. So now Seismo could potentially snipe the 113 if it charges down from the hilltop. So we're only down to one defender now, and that's, excuse me, one guy on the first assault wave, and that's Wonder here. They traded evenly, give or take. Top 4 again just had the number advantage. Gosh, I'm getting my factions wrong. Blue 4 just had the number advantage, held it. Reinforcements came in, further fortified. And Op 4 just doesn't have the numbers here. Because other engagements, Blue 4 was able to, you know, get some pretty nasty sweeps. They wasted 4 squads to kill 119 squad. And unfortunately, Seismo did not range their gun properly for the Carl G and whiffed a shot. Who only has 3 bullets in their magazine? How did you then roll all the way down this... This is why you make sure you have a full mag in your gun. So you don't end up like Green Thumb, who also comically fell down. That's the second time he fell down the stairs, too. Because when he got GP'd, he also rolled down. Green Thumb's getting really well acquainted with these stairs. He could still wake back up, but after a second knockout, it's very unlikely. Lolo, they did silly things. Meanwhile, up here, we've got one of the Op 4 guys knocked out. Okay, he woke back up. These guys folding back. They've dismounted from the Vic. He gets hit again. And he's dead. All right. What's our time at? Got about... What was that, 5 minutes? No, 10 minutes remaining. More around 11, 13 and a half. 24:30, yeah, 13 and a half, all right. I'll just shout random numbers until I get to the right one and go, yeah, that one sounds right. Op 4 command is also dead. Ah, that was Lolo pushing Seismo, okay. So Blue 4 have gained an additional point. I think it's GG here. Unless these 3... Well, okay, let's do some math. It is 3, 6, it's 7 versus 3. Blue 4 still has their commander on the rear, though. And it looks like he's gone out and picked up... No. Yeah, flip for flat, picked out Manco. Okay. You have Nubass over here who's just been AFK the entire time. I think the Blue 4 wipe on the Op 4 squad that Zixme was a part of, that's what kind of swayed the infantry balance. Because then when they were then pushed by the enemy Op 4 squad, they still got a few kills in and knocked out that 5-man group from like 8. So, yeah. That's Nubass's clone. The real Nubass is in the AO. I don't see a Nubass. Looking at the roster now. Oh, God. Oh, I didn't even see these people when I was doing a number count. Oh, God. Well, that's GG. All of Op 4 just died. Spectacularly. All right. 5 Amon pay it out to Blue 4. They've held the warehouse. They should have gotten those points on the other side as well. They kept 8 people alive, and they got the other guy. It wasn't a perfect score, but close enough. All right. Anyway, guys, that is it. There's the final kill, and there is GG. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good... Wait. Seismo. Little bit of blue on blue at the end to lighten your day. What are you doing? You won. Stop it. Where did the MG3 come from? Whatever.